All the guns you'll be seeing today are available on solware.co.uk, based in Tamworth. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's a test and review day for our Kral Mortal. As you can see, very tactical looking gun. The gun has had added to it a Nikko Sterling 4x16x50 scope, had sand silencer, and it's been tuned in to Gammo Pro Hunter pellets, which it'll be taking its test with today. The tank at the moment is running slightly low, so we will top that up before we begin. Let's get it out there, let's see how it tests. It'll be done in our normal way as we do it. There'll be 2 cards up the guard in there, 50 points earned on each of those, one with 5 small targets. Every bullseye is worth 10 on those, and then obviously we go into a single target, again 5 bullseyes there will give you another 50 points. Then we go on to our rings. There's 5 rings on there. The big rings are worth 5 points each, and there's 4 of those, and then our bonus shot worth 15 points is a very small ring, just the size of a pellet. So the maximum you can score in this is 135. How this gun will do today, I do not know, but one thing I have noticed, it does seem to get through a fair bit of air quite quickly. So I'll get it all set up and we'll get it out there and let's see how it gets on today. Okay, our gun pressure is where it should be. I just hope that this doesn't take a few shots to settle because it'll affect its score. But here we go with our first shots. Left hand target, those 5 small targets, we need 5 bullseyes. I think he's just about got that, so another bullseye. Oh, that's an 8, I think. That's a bullseye though. That's a bullseye. We go into our second target, 48 scored there. That's 10. 10 again. Yeah, another 10. And another 10. I'm not sure with that one, that might be annoying. I'll get those 2 cards in and I'll go and check on those scores and we'll get set up for the third round, which is our rings. It's 96 so far after those first 2 rounds. The first shot didn't hit the bullseye on the first card, so that was only an 8-2. So he scored 96 so far. Let's see how he gets on now with the rings. He'll be in the red rings in this card. 5 points for each of the big ones, 15 for the small one. That's 5. That's 0. Okay, we'll be needing a new magazine now. Let's load that in. That counts. So 106 so far. 106. Could this be the first gun ever to fail our 110 test? Needs the bonus to save itself here. And misses that too. So with the 106, the Kral Mortal is the first gun ever to fail our test. Now, for whatever reason that should be, I do not know, because it does shoot well, and it was quite surprising that it felt that I would never have thought that with the gun. Yeah, shocked me, that one has. I'll just lay the gun down and I'll just turn the outside camera off and we'll carry on with this review. Well, what can I say? All I can say there is I'm disappointed, because I really had high hopes for this gun. It does shoot really well, and I've got to admit the scores it's done on its test there are very disappointing. I would never have given it that at all. This was a mid 120s, at least 130 a round of gun. I'd have thought, you know, it would have scored quite highly. Whether it's had a few bad pellets in the magazine there, because some shots were a lot wider away than what you would have expected, I don't know. But anyway, we'll move on to the review of the gun. First of all, people always like to know the chrono test. Well, the chrono test was done before the gun come to me, as does with guns that are supplied by Range Right. They come with their sheet with them, and this one was reading out at shot 1 11.47 foot-pounds, shot 2 11.55, shot 3 11.67, shot 4 11.39, shot 4 11.43, shot 6 11.51, shot 7 11.59, shot 8 11.55, shot 9 11.59, shot 10 11.63, shot 11 11.67, and shot 12 was 11.43. These was tested with the gun at 180 bar, and the pellet shoes were RWS Superfields. The average there is 571.5 feet per second. The minimum was 568, the maximum 575. It gives it a spread there of 7 feet per second over the gun's test. So it didn't do too badly at all. It's right there where you want it to be as regards power. Now, things that you need to understand about this gun. Yes, it's very tactical. We can tell that, like, you know, it's got bits of metal everywhere, but the hand grip is solid rubber and it's really, really grippy. The adjustableness, obviously you can see that the end of the gun there, it pulls out as far as you want it to pull out. You can raise the cheek piece as much as you want to. Everything is adjustable at the rear end. So if you're a tall or short shooter, that adjustment, instead of having a solid stock, may well fit you better, shall we say. These two little gaps underneath here, nice little thing where you can put your magazines in. I've not used it, as you can tell, but they slide in there and you can carry your magazines around with you. So if you're out, shall we say, walking a wood, that might be quite handy for a quick grab of a magazine and ready to pop. It also comes with a small A-frame which fits under here, so you can rest it on something. That comes complete with the gun. The bottle, I'm not sure of how good the bottle is as regards shot count. I think I filled this up before I done its pellet testing and then its review. So the maximum shots this has probably had is 60, and it was getting very close to the line where it needed a refill. I have topped it back up. I've just took 15 shots out of it now, and it's dropped a notch again into the green, and there's 5 notches. So I'm taking it, this gun may have 90 shots in it. It's not a rather large bottle on it, as you can see. So yeah, you're probably looking, I would have thought, at about 90 shots maximum into 2. Other things I've noticed with the gun, which you may want to know about, is if you're going to fit a scope, it does need to be Picatinny. There's no choice of dovetail rail in this. The power adjustment, to make it look even more tactical, is shaped in a bolt. I don't know if you can see it there, whereas usually, like, you've got a paddle or a shall we say, like a threaded screw there. You've got like a bolt look on there, but that is your power adjust. You can have it as high or as low as you want to. I always said with a 12 foot-pound gun, why you would want to alter that, I don't really know, but it's there if you do. It's a gun that will suit certain people. Some people like a very traditional rifle, woodstock, standard, how it comes. Some people will really like this. They will like the fact that it looks very, very much tactical, and that's their kind of style gun they like. Some people like a bullpup. It just depends what your personal preference will be. If you like a tactical gun, you will like this. It is really, really nicely done. As regards, would I recommend one? Because it's always a question I get asked, obviously doing these tests. Yeah, I would recommend one. I'm afraid today it didn't do really well in its test, and I have no idea why. Because I was expecting it to do really, really well, but it didn't show up today and scored a 106, which is our lowest ever, which I think is a little bit unfair to the gun, because it's a lot better than that. I mean, when I was pellet testing the gun, it was doing a lovely group, and I have no idea why it's fluctuating so much. Now, whether this has got a touch of fluctuation in the pressure, I do not know, but some of the shots were perfectly on the bullseye. Some, as you've seen, were just veering away. It also could be that this could do with going with another pellet. The Gamos did come out well in test. It might be an idea that I try this with the JTSs and see whether the fortune's changing the gun, because with certain pellets do have an habit of not being, shall we say, regular. They do have an odd shape in them now and again, and Gamos could be the case that is what's happening to this gun. There's a wayward one every now and again, and it's causing the gun problems. I will try it with the JTSs again later on, just to see how it does, and if it could score better on the JTSs, which I've not tuned in to this gun whatsoever yet. But obviously if the JTSs do work better, that might be the right ones for this gun. As a matter of fact, if I do have time, I will add that into this review where I've tuned in the JTSs and see how it did with those, because 106 really does not give this gun a fair outcome. It's a lot better gun than that. You know what, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to treat you all. I'm going to stop the review there, and I'm going to redo the test with the JTSs to see whether this gun's fortunes change. Now, there has a little bit of an air gone out of the gun, but it's still plenty within safe, usable distance. So I'll get set up for JTSs, and shall we see how it gets on with those in the gun. Okay, as you know, I don't re-edit anything, but this is a second test with the JTS dead centres, because I don't want this to be the gun that failed its test due to being matched with a bad pellet, because that would be down to myself. So here we go, test 2 with the JTS dead centres, same as before, 135 points up for grabs. Here goes with the first 2 targets. Shot 1 is a 10. Shot 2, 10. Shot 3, 10. Shot 4, 10. Shot 5, 10. We're going to card 200% so far. 10. 10. 10, and all pellet on pellet. 10. Last one for the full house and 100%. Get in. That's a full 100% out the first two cards. Straight away this gun is doing a lot better with these pellets. We'll set it up now for the rings. Obviously it needs to beat his original 106. Now what I've done with this one, our rings one, I was lucky enough to have kept the original card from the first round this ever did. And I've put it up there, so his original score is the red rings. We're going to shoot into the blue rings with this new pellet. Let's have a see how it does now. 100 points so far, don't forget, so he's doing really well. That's 5 points. Another 5. So straight away he's already beat his original score. He's on 110 now. 115. 120. This is for the full 100% round with the JTSs now. This has been a bit of a shock and a bit of a turnaround if he gets this. He doesn't, but that's a lot better with the 120. That was mainly that last shot there was due to me having a wobble, I've got to admit. As you can see, it doesn't rest very well due to that Picatinny there. See if I can get it now without the pulling off the Picatinny away from the rest. Spot on. So this gun was a possible 135 candidate. It was just because the Picatinny there was caught on there, and as you can see it's a bit wobbly when it does that, so that was my fault the last shot, or else this gun would have hit a 135. And as I said before, I know this gun was worth a lot more than the 106 it originally shot, and I'm glad I reshot that with a different pellet just to show you how good this gun can be. Now that changes the complexion of this gun altogether, doesn't it? As you can see, and from what I've told you throughout this review, it is a decent gun. Now that being said, I've took 30 shots now, and we've used about half a tank of air with 30 shots, so you may be looking at 70 usable shots with the gun, so bear that in mind. It's not a massive tank with this gun. It looks massive because of the shrouding around the air bottle, but it's a very small tank. I would say around 150cc tank, if that. I think I did bring out the stats for this gun when I done the unboxing, and you'll probably find the answers there. But besides the small tank, now don't forget when you're out on permission doing a bit of shooting, unless you're doing a heavy night's ratting, you're going to be very lucky to shoot off 25-30 shots a day, so that would be plenty for you anyway. The Hat Sound silencer that I have on it works well with it. It's really quiet. The scope, as you can see, works really well. It just needed a pellet that worked well in it. The Gamma let us down and will be taken away and won't be used with the gun anymore. But yes, the the Kral Mortal, brilliant gun. If you like a tactical rifle, matched with the JTSs, this is on par with anything about, I would have said at the moment. So yeah, it's got a hell of a lot of adjustment you can do. Obviously the trigger's adjustable in every way, the rear end's adjustable in every way, the grip's lovely. If ever you're out in wet conditions, that would be a big bonus, being rubber gripped. But yeah, it's a gun that will suit certain people, and yeah, obviously people would think, why would you recommend it after it's scored 106? Well, you've just seen it can go into the full amount when done right, and even though it'll be a 120 that it's classed as it got in its test, because I don't re-edit, as I say, I don't try and cover anything up or hide anything. If I'd have shot that right on that last shot, that would have been the full 135 with this gun, and it just shows what it's capable of. The Kral Mortal, yeah, gold bow, and if you like a tactical one, they're worth it. They're a good gun. Shot in the right conditions and with the right pellet, it's proved itself, hasn't it? Thank you all for watching. See you all very soon. Bye bye now.